In honor of Black History Month in the US, let's talk about what Black Simmers think is missing from The Sims 4. Last year in an online forum, I asked the question, what would be different about The Sims 4 if it was designed by Black people? And a lot of the ideas in this video come from the answers that Black Simmers gave to that question. So shout out to Black Simmers for continuing to push The Sims to be more inclusive. What would you love to see in The Sims 4 to better represent your background or your experience? Share your ideas in the comments below. Now here is a list of 15 ideas Black Simmers would love to see in The Sims 4. Let's start with Create a Sim. Number 1, improved Black features. The faces of Sims are still too Eurocentric according to Black Simmers, and we are not able to properly make broader noses and fuller lips. Even randomizing faces creates Eurocentric features for our Black Sims. I experienced this personally when I was trying to make my Sim self. I was getting frustrated because I could not properly capture the roundness and flatness of my nose, the fullness of my lips, and the fullness of my face. Number 2, better skin tones. So it turns out Black Simmers are still relatively unsatisfied with the range of skin tone options in The Sims 4. Now, back at the end of 2020, The Sims did add over 100 new skin tone defaults thanks to the efforts of Black Simmers, Xmiramira, and EbonixSims. But it seems Black Simmers feel like this still didn't quite capture what they're looking for when they talk about diverse skin tones. I know Black Simmers feel like we need to have more representation of vitiligo and albinism. I also think Black Simmers want to see just better color variation across a Sim's body when they have a darker skin tone, like around knees and elbows, and also changing the palms and bottoms of the feet to be lighter. But if you are a Black Simmer that feels like the skin still isn't right, could you let me know in the comments below what about it is wrong? Because that one personally is one I still am not understanding what Black Simmers are looking for. Number 3, more Afro textured hair. Now I know you saw this one coming. The Sims has improved their Black and Afro textured hairstyles over the years, yet I still think we're just scratching the surface. The range of Afro textured hairstyles is severely limited, and what we do have is often hidden behind the paywall of DLC. So Black Simmers would love to see more braided hairstyles, including bobs, updos, and longer hairstyles, more Afro hairstyles and length, and more curly hair texture styles in general, which could help us better represent biracial Sims and Sims of other cultures. I would love to see more Afro textured hairstyles that include beads, scarves, and ball caps. It would also be cool if braided hairstyles grew out and would have to get freshened up periodically. Number 4, trendier fashions. Black Simmers really want to see better fashion in The Sims 4. Think trendier clothes and accessories that you might find on sites like Shein, shoes, and makeup. I think that does make sense though, because when I think of like fashionable Black people, I'm not exactly sure how I would recreate that experience in The Sims right now without having to download a lot of CC. Number 5, better Sim details. Black Simmers wish we could give our Sims middle names and nicknames, which I'm like, oh, duh. We also need a larger amount of characters that we can put for our names, for multiple last names and longer first names. Black Simmers want to see a wider range of voices, and Black Simmers would also love to see a more expansive family tree. We should be able to set who our aunts, uncles, cousins, and grandparents are without having to make the actual related Sim. Now let's move on to the build by catalog. Number 6, Black hair care accessories. We need an Afro pick in the game, as well as a brush and other hair butters and hair jams that we could use as clutter for our vanities and our bathrooms. Number 7, more lot types. Black Simmers want to see churches, barbershops, and beauty shops in The Sims 4. These places are cornerstones of the Black community and are not represented in the game at all. Number 8, Africana art and decor. There's not a lot of Black art in The Sims. And of the art that is in The Sims, there's a lot of art that has a white Sim represented as the default and only swatch. In my Black home in real life, I don't have white people on my walls. The Modern Luxe kit, which was a collab with Black Simmers Xureila, provided the best improvement to this problem recently, but again, we're just scratching the surface and there could be a lot more done. Number 9, world building. In other franchises of the game, we were able to make our own custom worlds. Also, in the most recent For Rent expansion pack, we only got 9 new lots. So Black Simmers would love to be able to make our own worlds where we can add as many lots as we would like. Number 10, cars. Black Simmers want cars in the game, okay? We had cars in The Sims 2 and in The Sims 3. The fact that this feature hasn't been added to a game that's heavily based on the United States is odd. It's a little odd, and it's a little disappointing, if I'm honest. Finally, let's talk gameplay. Number 11, better hygiene practices. Black Simmers want to see their Sims put on a shower cap before they get in the shower, use a loofah or a washcloth while they're in the shower and then put on lotion when they get out. One simmer even suggested that part of the gameplay could be an evil interaction where you could make fun of a sim for being ashy, which is cruel but perfect. Number 12, spades. Black simmers want to see spades in the game and the culture around spades. One simmer suggested that there could even be an interaction of get taught how to play spades, but it would only work if the sim had a high enough friendship level with the sim they were asking, which is hilarious. Number 13, more lifelike details. Black simmers want to see their darker skinned sims get lighter in the winter, which I feel called out, honestly. And they want to see their Afro textured sims maybe use swim caps when they go swimming. They also would have loved to see and still would love to see a jump the broom option for weddings, which is a huge missed opportunity from the My Wedding Stories pack. Number 14, better kid activity. Black simmers want to see their children play double dutch, which reminds me, we don't even have a jump rope in the game right now. Like, do kids even play outside anymore? Speaking of, Black simmers would also love to see if like all the kids came inside when the streetlights came on, and when you go out, you won't see like children sims roaming about at night. Number 15, better dancing. Black simmers want to see more modern and club appropriate dancing in The Sims 4. This has actually been addressed in a mod called Better Dancing by Steven Studios, which I'll link below. But this brings me to my last point. There are a lot of mods and CC created by Black creators and other creators which address some of the things that I have brought up in this video. I can cover some of those mods and whatnot in the future, but it would be amazing if the Sims team developed and coded some of these ideas into the game itself to improve representation for Black simmers. And several of these ideas aren't just for Black simmers and would do a whole lot to improve representation in general. But what would you love to see in the game that is more inclusive of your background and your experience? Share your ideas in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and turning on the post notifications so you know when my next video goes live. I do go live on this channel playing Sims on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And let's keep the fun going by checking out my other videos here. Until next time, dag dag!